Hey folks, Keith here at Chicken Thigh Fishing. Welcome aboard. Let's go fishing. Stick around. So I'm here at Lake Massabesic in Auburn, New Hampshire, and I just coming out here. I'm not familiar with this lake at all. It's a huge lake for these parts, 2,500 acres, and I have a tournament here this weekend, so I wanted to come check it out and get the lay of the land and practice. And it's super windy out in the open water, just like white caps and brutal. So I found a quiet area, and I'm trying to see what I can using the this tree line as some shelter, so I can actually control my boat. And we'll see what we dig up, see if I can learn anything before my tournament on Saturday. So you guys know I love my spinner baits, so I'm going with 3/4 ounce double mag willow blade Rage Swimmer for a trailer, and I got some pads with some really big boulders in them, and that seems to me a perfect spot to run this spinner through, and run it through the pads and by the rocks, and we should hit one. Alright, here's a good fish. Strong, wow, very thick, strong fish. Awesome. Awesome. Some huge rocks here. Rocks underneath pads. Great combination for cover. Stay on. Stay on. Oh, stay on. Yes. All right. All right, that Big Daddy was sitting right outside of Beaver Lodge. Nice fish. Oh, yes. Nice fish. Hanging right outside of Beaver Lodge. That is awesome. Now that was a little strange because I cast it in front of the Beaver Lodge, and when that fish hit, it felt like a log, and I immediately thought, oh man. I knew I was going to pick up a log, obviously, in front of a Beaver Lodge, and it really felt like a branch or a log, and it wasn't. So when you're casting at a Beaver Lodge, you're casting dangerously, because there's a high percentage you're going to lose a lure or something that you can't get out because there's such gnarly pieces of wood all around, just by the nature of it. But that was fantastic. Okay, I'm going to change tactics again here. I'm going to go top water and throw a buzz frog with a trailer hook. See if I can get somebody to come up off these rocks to grab something on the top of the water. Fish there. He just came up after it and decided he didn't want it. Turned around right at the surface. So I'm going to back off and try to get him with my spinner bait. There he is. No, it's a little one. Well, if that was the one that came after my buzzbait, it's a lot smaller than I thought. Just a little guy. The first one I caught today was on a big rock, big boulder. I ran the spinner by it and he smashed it. And the second fish, another good one, was on a beaver lodge. So, you know, there's two examples of cover. Those are the targets you want to throw at. Docks, rafts, rocks, boulders, trees, logs, any type of structure these largemouth bass are attracted to. Gives them concealment, gives them a place to lay in ambush for something to go by. And that's evidenced in the fact that a lot of times when you throw at a tree, at a rock or something, as soon as that bait hits the water, they smash it. And they can see it coming from the air, especially when there's no wind ripple on the water. They can see that coming in, and to them that's a frog falling out of a tree, or a bird falling out of a tree. That's what they're looking for, something to hit the water, and if it fits in their mouth, they're eating it. So a lot of times you'll see you throw at a rock or at a tree, as soon as that hits the water, they engulf it. There's a good crankbait fish. That was a good crankbait fish, right on a big rock that's sticking out of the water, and he just mauled it. Just came out and torched it. Little guy, thank you very much. Ran a lipless crank right by that rock. Big old boulder sticking out of the water. Again, structure. And he just smoked it. Lost another crankbait fish there. Boy, I tell you, I'm fishing 14-pound fluorocarbon on this crankbait here, and man, do I prefer braid. Such a better hook set on braid. That's why I lost that fish. The stretch in the line. You know, a lot of people swear by fluorocarbon for things like jerk baits and crank baits. Some people laughing because I use braid with them. Tell you what, I lose a lot fewer fish on braid than I do on fluorocarbon. Alright, there's another one off a log on a lipless crankbait. Good looking fish, man. Good looking fish. Alright, there's another one. They're hitting this lipless crank so far. Here we go, little guy. There's another good one. All right, they are destroying this lipless crank. Destroying it. There's another one. Very good. Stay on. Stay on. Woo! Oh yeah. Okay. I knew that was going to be a fish there. Nice, healthy boy. Oh yeah. Good fish right there. So I got a point here with a whole bunch of boulders and a bunch of grass coming out of it. I shot my spinnerbait in there and I caught it on a rock, broke it off. So I changed up my spinnerbait and went back at it. First cast, bam! Yes, sir. Oh, that was terrific. I figured there would be a fish there. I was hoping it'd be a good one. And I'm not done with it. I've got a nice point here. Boy, he got mad when he saw the boat. Now, as I'm retrieving this spinnerbait, I can feel it bouncing off the boulders. And that's what you want. I got a nice slow retrieve, not too fast, but fast enough that the blades are working. And I'm bouncing it off the boulders. And that guy just must have come up from between two boulders and just torched it. Oh, that's awesome. He just blew that up. I'm staying quite a bit of ways away from it because the wind is brutal. And again, I don't know this lake. And I can feel the boulders, so I know they're there. And I really don't feel like hitting them. However, I'll be glad to cast into them. I was almost going to throw a frog into the grass. But then I figured the spinner would be excellent. Another good one. Oh, I tell you, you see grass and boulders, you throw yourself a spinnerbait. You throw yourself a spinnerbait, that's what you get. Boy, they are fat and strong here. This is a small fish, lengthwise. But they are eating, their belly, they're thick, big girth. I mean, that's only a 16-inch fish. But he's fat and he's strong. You can feel how thick he is. Boy, I like this lake. Woo! They're gonna give my spinnerbaits a beating today. See, they tend to stretch them out like that. You gotta put them back. So what I was saying when I hooked that guy was because of the grass there, I was going to throw a frog and try to see if I could go top water there. But it's just as effective, sometimes more so, to bring a crankbait or a spinnerbait through that grass. And again, I can feel the rocks in there, so I know there's bass in there. That guy beat up my trailer. I got to put a new one on. There we go. And I got another point in front of me, similar to the point we just passed where we just caught those two fat boys. So since the wind is sucking me in here and I am now in 2 feet of water, I'm going to move out to that point. There we go. Ah. Yes, sir. Another good one. Oh. That was perfect. I'll tell you why in a second. Oh. Yes, sir. Beauty. Boy, are they strong here. That is a strong fish. So, what I did there was, I cast it at that point, and there's grass to the right of it, and off to the left of it was a little tuft of lily pads. I mean, maybe 6 lily pads. There's often a fish at those pads. So I casted way beyond it, hit the rocks behind it, and I retrieved it, and I felt it bouncing off the rocks as I approached it. And then right when I went through that tuft of pads, bam! Picture perfect. He was right where he was supposed to be. A lot of times they seek cover underneath pads, but it doesn't have to be heavy, you know, a heavy expanse of pads. It can just be a singular tuft of pads. Boy, this wind is brutal. There's a solid chance that I'm going in the water. Little guy. Little ridiculous, don't you think? The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day on a 3-hour tour. Oh, that was perfect. Oh, yes, sir. Oh. Another fish right where he was supposed to be. Right where he was supposed to be. And he smoked a crankbait. There's a piece of a tree sticking up out of the water. I ran that crankbait right by that piece of the tree. Bam! Yes, sir! God, I love when they're where they're supposed to be. The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The ship sank round the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Isle. Marianne, definitely Marianne. Okay, good fish. Good fish. Oh, this could be the fish of the day. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, it's a big old pike. Whoa. Actually, it's a big giant pickerel. Look at that vicious duck. That's a velociraptor right there. Dang, man. I thought that was the best fish of the day. Well, folks, that was fun. Thanks for joining me. Had a good time today, picked up some good fish, and it was one of those days where a lot of those fish were where they were supposed to be. It's time to get out of here. It was a good day. Glad you could join us. If you like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time. And until then, stay fishing, my friends.